Hi everyone, this is Shawna from Hollaback, Baltimore, and I'm here with Jackie from ObjecDEFY, which is a really awesome organization doing some work in Jordan specifically, or is it the Middle East? Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it's ObjecDEFY is a women-powered movement that empowers people of all gender identities and ages to defy harassment. So it's objecting to the objectification of women, and it's objecting to and defying harassment in our streets, in our places of work, in our homes,
Yeah.
in our world.
It sounds familiar. You mean harassment isn't just a problem in Baltimore?
Oh my God!
Shocking.
No, I know, it's shocking.
Yeah. So
not.
I think we both know that street harassment is a global reality for women and LGBTQ folks. But I'd love to hear about how it might be seen differently than here in the States, over in the Middle East.
You mean the actual problem or trying to fix it?
Both.
Well, I guess the best way to start off is to explain what I see as one of the major differences between harassment in the Middle East and harassment in the West, the Western world. In the Middle East, there's a lot of silence surrounding it, specifically in Jordan, because women are, they're really scared to speak out because they're afraid of being blamed for inflicting it, for bringing it upon themselves. They're afraid of being shamed into believing that, you know, they could have done something to prevent it. Mm-hmm. A lot of women are afraid that if they do speak out, their freedom of movement will be restricted, because one of the ways in which that people do deal with harassment is that women are told to, okay, so you're getting harassed at university or at school, you don't go to school. You're getting harassed at work, you don't go to work. You're getting harassed at the shops, you don't go to the shops anymore. So instead of trying to look at the problem and solve the problem, which is very, very deep, as we all know, people tend to try and solve it by just
Punishing women even more.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely have a lot of victim blaming here in the States, but I don't think the consequences of that victim blaming go as far as they do in the area that you're talking about. Like, there's some shaming aspect, and what were you wearing and why were you there at that time of night, but we can still go to school and work. No one's going to keep us from living our lives. We keep ourselves from living our lives. We're the ones who change our route to work to avoid harassment, but no one else imposes that on us.
Yeah. I mean, you know, in the Middle East, I say in the Middle East, I should talk specifically about Jordan because that's where ObjecDEFY was born, that's where I'm based, although I've done some work in Egypt and Lebanon as well. But it's not to say that every woman keeps silent. The majority of women do keep silent. And to me, that's probably the biggest problem that we face at the moment, because if a society doesn't know what the problem is, how can we fix it as a society? How do we make women less afraid of speaking out against it is a massive problem. So ObjecDEFY, one of the things that we're doing is getting women to speak out so that other women understand that they're not alone. And there is strength in numbers. There's a huge amount of strength in numbers, which is not something that we've been kind of you know, we haven't been using that particular tool of strength in numbers in the Middle East. I don't think we have to the best of our abilities. So it's one of the challenges.
How hard has it been? Like, have you had to do anything to get the stories out of women? Because I mean, here, at least in Baltimore, women aren't afraid to share their stories. Like, there's not going to be any recourse, even if they put their name on the website. You know, it's still anonymous enough that they submit their story, and then that's it. You know, I mean, I think the only public figures that might get a little bit of trolling online is maybe our executive director Emily May, because she's the face of Hollaback. But even still, that's on the internet. No one's you know, stalking her or attacking her, like. Because who cares? We just run a website. But is there more of a risk for the women, or are you having to show them that there isn't a risk in sharing their story?
There's definitely a risk in Jordan. I didn't grow up, and I am Arabic, I'm Jordanian Egyptian, but I was brought up in America, so I can only understand so much. I can't fully comprehend what it would be like for a woman to come out and speak out against what is happening to her and to most women in Jordan.